All right, here we are, Success for Professionals. And today, joining me is my very good friend, Julie Cotton. Julie is the improv extraordinaire. And I am just so thrilled to have you here, my friend, because, I got to see you live and you have some magic and you transform me in just a little talk. And so I want to add more improv in my life because it's going to make me a more dynamic speaker. And this is why I'm bringing you on the show, girl, to help us learn how to maybe let loose and get a little bit more, less normal and more dynamic in our business. So, Julie, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Heather. I'm delighted to get to play with you. Any and all, your energy is infectious, and you're already. I mean, we're all better than we know. So thanks for having me on to talk about one of my favorite things ever, which is improv.
Yeah, so cool. So tell the folks that are watching and listening what you do for a living.
Sure. I teach and perform improv comedy. So I support folks just like you, just like me, all spectrums of life to remember more of the truth of who we really are, which I believe we are all divine creators. And so when we get to play pretend together, when we step out on or trust ourselves that whatever comes out of our mouths, out of the scene together, that it will be exactly what it was meant to be, then we have more fun along the way. So
Yeah.
I just remind people of who they are, really.
Man. Well, and listen, remind people of who they are, to get looser and to be more comfortable. I think speaking, right? And what you teach can help us when we're doing live presentations, when we're doing things like this, even on Zoom,
Yep. Yep.
when we're selling our services, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So speaking to we'll get to brass tacks here. I'm going to take my glasses off and get closer. Got a little bit closer. Okay. So we're all storytellers. We're making all of this up anyway, right? And so when we craft a story that meets the hearts of those we are enrolling, those who we are serving, those we are called to be ambassadors with, linking arms with, when we can enroll folks into the story that we're up to, of a better world, of more joy and ease and grace in all that we do, then who wouldn't want to link arms and walk the path with us? We're all here kind of humaning together. We don't really have any options that I know of to not human. Once we're here, we said yes to the role. Yes, I'm going to play a human. Great. Now let's get at it and have the most fun possible. Wow. So improv helps us do that with more joy, ease, grace, lightheartedness. We don't take ourselves or other people so seriously. Now, that doesn't mean improv doesn't necessarily mean funny. Improv just means spontaneous, present in the moment. So that might mean meeting the moment with a degree of, somberness or compassion, or, and even for ourselves, as you're an entrepreneur, we get in the grind of things and we might drive ourselves like we're a horse or something that just needs to be, and we're like, hey, time out. I just want to chill over here, a time to graze, you know what I'm saying? So if we can remember that there's no pressure to be funny. I think a lot of people get into improv and they think they're supposed to be funny. Funny will just come naturally because we're funny. Life is funny. It's full of humor. And if we see the divine play in all of it, we're infinitely more likely to enjoy the journey, even when we're in the scene of my business is failing, my body is failing, whatever it is. Can I find the joy in the journey and know that this is not the end of my story, and I'm willing to step into and meet the next moment?
Oh, I love that so much because my brain, my little human brain, when I hear improv, it is improv equals funny. No. Improv equals flexibility. Improv equals
adaptability. Yeah. Being able to meet what comes. So the yes and principle, right? If I can say yes to whatever is here, you are my scene partner and I'm going to yes you. And I also am going to match you and meet you with my unique genius, artistry, poetry, whatever comes through me, right? We are all geniuses, artists, and poets. And we forget that, I think. And so when we give each other permission to play, and meet. So I'm also a yogi. I'm here in a yoga studio right now on a massage table, like chilling, like meeting with my girl, you know? So it's like when I can, yoga means union. When I can bring into union my body, my mind, and my soul, namaste, the divine in me sees and honors the divine in you, right? And that's what we're doing when we improv. We're like, hey, we're about to step out onto the stage without a net. Like, we don't know what we're going to create. We're going to ask the audience what they'd like to hear, and then we're going to give it to them. And we trust each other. I got your back. I got you. I got you. You got me? Okay, great. We're going to, then whatever happens.
Wow. I did. You know what? I'm floored right now because I try to live a joy-filled life, a life filled of joy. But there was a time when I was inching up towards the 5-year mark of my business, and the pressure was mounting. I had no relief valve, and I'm curious if and I had to go through that, and out of the ashes the phoenix rises, and out of it I came out with the commitment of what you just said, finding the joy in it, it all of it.
Yes. Whatever it is.
Whoever it is. Before I broke down, I'm going to say I broke down. Before I broke down and I was able to break through, I couldn't find the joy. It got to be too much.
Yeah.
So how can we use improv, as entrepreneurs? We're sitting here on an island. How can we use improv to find that joy?
Great insight, first of all, and question as well, because improv is kind of like this etheric thing that's, oh, it's fun, I'll go and take a class, but how do I use it in my life? And I wouldn't be able to tell you, Heather, how you will use it in your life, because I'm not you. And the experience is so unique for each of us, right? It's kind of like you can't outsource your marketing, just like you can't outsource sex, right? Like you kind of have to be there. So I don't know what you'll do with it, but I can give you some examples of things I've done with it in those breakdown moments, right? So it's like, we have a game that we play in improv called New Choice. And we make a scene, we would get a set of circumstances from our coach or the audience or a director or something, and then we would start the scene. You and I would just jump into these characters. Let's say we're old college roommates catching up. Oh, Heather, oh my gosh, it's so great to see you. I haven't seen you forever. And then my director might call, New Choice. Oh, Heather, I fancy seeing you here. Very different choice, but I can shift on a dime because I practiced. Oh, what else could I create with this set of circumstances? Let me just go through the files, and almost like you're picking an avatar for a virtual, video game or something. And it's like, oh, who would I like to try on? What are their highlights and lowlights, or what would be fun? And being willing to play socially unacceptable roles, being willing to play the villain, being willing to play inanimate objects, being willing to play planets or ways of being, like the movie Inside Out is like, they're just a bunch of feelings, but they've been personified. And so we are only limited by our imaginations. So if we can go to I call it the improv dojo, like take your imagination to the gym and work it out, like begin filling the stalls of your options, so that when you're confronted with a situation, a circumstance, you're like, ooh, which horse would I like to take on this race?
Yes.
Because I've fleshed all of them out, and I've had some stage time. I know how to play this instrument of me. And so which aspect of me would best suit this circumstance? And not that we're being inauthentic or we're manipulating or we're being fake. It's like, no, all of these things are things I have access to as the divine actor. I can give stage and form to any and all aspects that I'm willing to let come through me. And one of them, or hundreds of them, would be appropriate to handle this situation. So in a moment when I'm caught to go to an old habit of scarcity or lack mentality, or I'm anxious or I'm fearful or I'm worrying that somebody's going to judge me, like, newsflash, everybody's judging you. We judge all the time. We can't not. So that's why, who cares? Play the scene you want to play. Follow your fun, do the thing you love to do because you love to do it, regardless of if anybody responds in a way that you want them to respond.
Yeah.
It's kind of selfish acting,
but selfish, but not in any negative sort of aspect. I mean, you're giving yourself, I think, fully in that respect.
Yes. Well, that is full acting, big S self, right? But when I expect my audience to respond the way I want them to, that may be selfish, right? Like I want my audience to put approval in my cup because I'm doing the Julie show.
Yeah.
But that's like, no, if I'm just doing it for the joy of it and I have no stakes, there's no agenda, I'm here completely in love and joy, and I'm only here to serve, then I don't need you to do anything in order for me to give you that love. That's what I meant by selfish.
Yes. No, I love that. And it sounds like it's a confidence thing. So it's like we're almost too afraid to let go. Are we too afraid to be seen? Is that our downfalls, our little human beings?
Sure. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So I was trained, my MFA is in acting from Rutgers University, Mason Gross School for the Arts. And
Ooh.
it's a big Meisner school, right? And in Meisner acting, we spend hours gazing into our partner's eyes, not in one session, but like over the course of 3 years of training, right? And you're just looking at your partner in the eye and you're breathing and there's no agenda. And people eventually we get over it, but initially people have a really hard time just looking and seeing and being seen. It's more about being seen. Like they feel the need that they have to smile or entertain the person, right? Like, but to truly look past and into someone and see the core of who they are, that namaste, the divine in me sees and honors the divine in you. Oh, there you are. I see you. I am here. Without the facade, letting all of the need to perform go away. And are we willing? We're the only species of mammals that's terrified of its own kind. It's crazy.
Right? Huh. Is that because we're so smart? We're just too dang smart.
I mean, too smart, right?
Yeah, right. What is that? What is that even? Yeah, right. So, all right, cool. So there are many applications where we could do improv.
Oh, yeah. Improv is great for sales.
Yeah,
great
tell
for
us.
Sales. Oh, so like there's a game called the Question Game, which I love. And it's I think it's in one of the plays Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are characters from Hamlet.
Okay.
And there's a movie version, and I think there's a play version of them. And they're playing, it's like tennis, but it's an older Renaissance-y version of tennis. And they're saying the entire scene is in questions. And the first person to make a statement or to break the question chain loses the point for the round, right? So in sales, it's really about finding out the heart of what your person needs, right? Sales is a questioning game. It's a curiosity game. I'm full of wonder. I don't know if I'm the answer to I'm the solution to a problem you might be experiencing. I don't even know what your problems are. You probably don't even know what your problems are. You think your surface problem is here, but if we got real, your problem's probably way down here, and I may or may not be the solution to that problem. So sales can be most effective when we are curious and we dive deep. So the question game is a great way to like flex the question muscle.
Yeah, right. And that's what it is. It's discovery. It's discovery, like you said. Can we figure out what the problem is? Do I have a solution for that problem? And do I want to work with you? I mean, having that discovery session and then you're able to, right? Because when I started out in the first three years of business, it was come one, come all. Had I maybe did a little bit more investigation, I would have had a little less heartache there in the beginning with some like what I like to call vampire clients. So that's amazing. We can use improv in sales. Go ahead.
You said something earlier too about the challenges and needing to go through them, right? So there's I can't remember who it is. I think it's somebody that used to work for ClickFunnels. Steve Larson. Are you familiar with him? He has a quote that the obstacle is the way. Right. So like the obstacle qualifies me. Overcoming the obstacle is what qualifies me to be the person that you come to as the expert. So to never have any of those adversities, lessons that we needed to learn to become the business person that we are today. So this is the yes anding part, right? How can I yes and this circumstance? This happened. How do I know? Because it's here, right? Like here we are in the scene of I took vampirical clients, whatever. And then you get to learn, oh, that's not my preference. It's kind of like a buffet. I might try all the things because I've never tried them and decide, ooh, I don't like raw fish. Not doing that,
Yeah.
Or I might be like, best thing ever. I want more, give me more of that. Right. And but we won't know unless we try. And that's the beauty of improv, is that it's literally rep after rep after rep of trying something new, trying something new, trying something new, and then figuring out, okay, where are my strengths? I really love this. I feel great when I do it. I'm not really great at that yet. I'd like to learn to be better at that, you know, without any of the stakes of real business or real relationships. If I'm doing this in relationship coaching, right? It's like we get to try on scene play with different, like, choose your own endings without the stakes of it actually impacting our business necessarily. Yeah. We just get to play it.
So much value, Julie. Thank you so much. You've provided, like, I feel just the little nugget of, if we can find the joy in all of it, we are far greater to reach our goals than not. I think that's the biggest nugget that I'm taking away from today's talk. I thank you so much. If people want to work with you, Julie, how can we get a hold of you?
Well, it's funny you should say that, because I'm just starting to pivot my business out of a massage room and a yoga room back into doing more corporate improv, doing more improv at events, doing more one-on-one performance coaching with people. So right now, I mean, you have my email, right? Is it best for them to just reach out to you, or do you want them? I mean, I'm happy to drop my email, but they can also just reach out to you, be like, we want more Julie juice, and then you can pass their info along if you want.
Yeah, or we can send them to Facebook, or, you know.
Yeah, Facebook's great.
You want to do that one? Yeah. So
my company is Next Level Improv on Facebook. So it's facebook.com/Next Level Improv, and you can reach out to me and message me there.
Yes, and please do, because you are dynamic, you are lovely, you hold space for us, you do all the things, my friend. You are the yogi on stage, guiding us, and yes-anding us, and having us do a physical action while saying something else. You blew my mind. I was like, what do we but it's awesome, because you're able to break through, break out of the shell, right?
Yeah. Well, and I love that you brought up that exercise, because it can mean many things for many people. So, like, what was your experience of doing one thing and saying something else? What was that for you?
Oh, it was wildly confusing and lovely at the same time, because you have to engage the brain, right? We have this beautiful, amazing brain, and not that I'm not challenged on a day-to-day level, but that was a different part of the brain being accessed there. And it was juicy. It was delicious. Like, my brain wants more of it.
Good.
Yeah.
Yay. Oh, I can't wait for you to play with me soon. I know you might.
Yeah. And we're going to do that. Yes. Awesome. So if you want more of Julie, please get to facebook.com/Next Level Improv. Get with Julie. She is for hire, corporate events, group events, speaking events, all the events, one-on-one coaching. Julie, I just adore you. I adore what you do. Thank you so much. I'm Heather Holloway, and you've been listening to Social Media Success for Professionals. Thank you so much for being here. It means the world to me and my team. Hey, remember, check the show notes for resources and links to other episodes, and don't forget to hit that subscribe and follow button to be notified when new episodes are released.